Hi, it's you and Ellery here making bonsai in Australia, and in this video I'm going to talk you through how I'm making bonsai from cuttings. So if you want to be able to make bonsai such as this one, hit the like button and you're halfway there. Just kidding, but if you can hit the like button, that will help the channel out greatly. Now, what I'm going to walk you through today is, how to make Bougainvillea bonsai cuttings, which is just, showing you what I've done with these Bougainvillea. And then I'm going to walk you through turning a Schefflera branch, which I've just broken off a random dwarf Schefflera tree, into cuttings as well. What I did with these, and these were just branches that I stripped off a couple of different Bougainvillea branches. So there weren't really any leaves on this. I think a couple of these didn't have any leaves at all. One of the cuttings did die, so I got 3 propagating out of 4. So basically what I did, cut off the branches, I then stripped it back a little bit, a bit of a diagonal cut at the bottom, scrape off a little bit of the bark at the bottom, and then I put them in water. Now, the reason why I put these ones in water was because it wasn't yet spring, it was only early winter, and the cuttings that I was putting into soil at that time, because the temperatures weren't really at the right level for it, I was finding that a lot of the cuttings that I was just putting straight into the ground were basically just rotting. They weren't actually taking root. So what I actually did with those cuttings was I put them in water and had them on my windowsill just to make sure it wasn't too dry and was better conditioned for them to root. What I then did, as soon as the little white nodules were starting to come out from the water, that the part of the cutting that was submerged, I then put it into soil, and from that point it was very easy for them to just start putting out their roots and start putting out branches. So I've had quite a good outcome from those, and I'm going to do a similar thing with my Schefflera. Now, in my latest video I did try using a Schefflera that was quite small from a cutting, and the cutting material was very green. It was kind of like the material up the top here on this branch. What happened with that, I put it in soil, was hoping it would grow, and it just started to rot. So I'm going to try it now with a more developed branch that's a lot more woody kind of material, established part of the branch here, and hopefully that'll work. Right, so got my branch and got a pot of soil. So the first thing I'm going to do is down the bottom of the branch here, just where it's snapped off, I'm just going to make a clean cut, a bit of a 45-degree angle there. So clean cut, just to stick in the soil. Now what I'm also going to do, I don't have rooting hormone. Rooting hormone would help make this process go a lot better, but also just scrape off a little bit of the bark, nothing too uniform. And what this will do is it'll help open up those little spots under where you're scraping away that bark, then exposes where the sap normally goes up, and that will then allow for roots to start to come out where you've scraped off that bark. So just helps the propagation process a little bit more. I could scrape it a little bit further up, may as well. And what I'm actually hoping to do with this is make a couple of cuttings out of this. So I'm just going to, above those first leaves, I'm just going to cut it flush, leave a little bit, cut it a bit above the top one of those leaves that's coming out, just so that when it does die back, hopefully it'll die back to this next node, which is right where that leaf is at, so it'll grow a new branch from there. So this is the first one of my cuttings. Now it does have a few different branches sticking out of the top here. I don't really need all of these branches, and I don't really want all of them because it might just make it a little bit more difficult for the cutting to survive, bring out more energy into the leaves. I want a little bit more energy to go into the roots, so I'm going to cut off one of these little leaf things. Might even just cut them both off, just leave the one set of leaves, just to give it a little bit of chance, and then it's just a simple matter of putting it in the soil. So this is quite good soil. It's It's not my bonsai soil. You'll notice that I did use my bonsai soil for my Bougainvillea, and I do have another video on making this bonsai soil, so I'll link that above. But this is just a mixture of, yeah, you can see there's a little bit of the white stuff, the vermiculite in there, so a bit of my bonsai kind of soil, but it's mostly just your standard potting mix with a lot of bark, aggregate material in there, so that should be quite good soil for it to root in. And this one as well, I did cut it off as a straight cut before, and the reason for the straight cut is that that's at the top of the cutting we have here. So if I'd done it as a diagonal cut, that opens up a lot more surface area at the top of the cut, which then dries out and it takes a bit more of a toll on the branch. So needed a straight cut just for the health of that other one. But now I'm going to cut this diagonally again at that 45-degree angle. And then again, it just helps with the rooting down the bottom. So just scrape back part of this again, just to help with that rooting. Nothing too fancy. And now I'll start cutting back off the leaves here. These little stubs that are left are just gonna, I could cut them off completely, but they'll dry back and fall off. Alright, so a bit of a larger cutting, leave a couple up the top, there's a little bud coming out here, so hopefully that goes well. If you have a cutting with these little leaf knobs coming out here, the roots will also find it easier to grow out of these root holes, so you could probably just strip them back and go with that. But there's a fair bit of the trunk here, and that's just going to go in the soil. So I'll throw that in here. So yeah, I'll put these outside and give them a watering, and we'll see how they go, but they should start to root within the next few weeks. So with Schefflera and any tree that you're going to try and grow from cuttings, now Schefflera in particular, they don't really like a lot of sunlight, and so you're better off placing these cuttings into a location where they do get a lot of consistent sunlight through the day, but just not direct sunlight. If you put them in the sun, especially with a new cutting that hasn't yet formed roots, it's just gonna burn, those leaves will dry up, and it's just not gonna grow. So look, there you have it, a quick video on how to make bonsai out of cuttings. If you have enjoyed this video or taken something from it, please leave a like, comment to let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to cover in my future videos, and subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell symbol so that you are notified with my future content as I release it. So look, thanks for watching, enjoy your day.